So we have our first Warrior here at 4x4 DNA. There's a lot of myths about this car, what it can and can't do. So I'm going to go through this particular build for the customer, but also some of those myths, we're going to dispel them straight up. First myth to dispel is you can fit a front bar on it. It's just a TI with, they've modified the bumper, they've cut off the outer corners and put on their own little plastics to make it a Warrior. Otherwise, it's the same as every other Y62 since 2012. This is the dash Predator bar with light bar. Get one of these, make sure you get a small number plate so it doesn't occlude. And let's talk about the bash plates and recovery points. So the Warrior comes with actually quite a substantial bash plate, and it's painted red to give it that Warrior look, and that looks awesome. Now if you want this to fit with the dash bar, no problem at all. However, you're going to struggle when you put the recovery points on, because where it bolts up is where the W and the R is, and you're going to end up with a RAI. Because we're in a Warrior, we should talk about the interior, because there's a significant change here. In fact, there's no wood grain. Thank you, Nissan, for doing that. We've got the piano black through the middle, and then the suede Warrior badges instead of the wood grain over the glove box. In the back, it still comes with 3-row seating. We've taken this one out and put in the dash false floor in. That fits in no problem at all, exactly like a normal Patrol. Installed the twin compressor into the rear quarter with air outlet, so you can still do that as well. And just showing off this particular job, there's a Dash 120 battery underneath here, and we put some Andersons across the back, black one being solar import from the BCDC, and the others are 230 amp outlets too, with some extra lighting up here too from Safari. Those researching the Warrior will know about its exhaust. It's bimodal, and I'll show you how it works and I'll tell you how it works. On startup, it's got a nice little burble, it sounds fantastic, and with a little rev, I won't give it too much, it's a brand new car. Just hear that little throatiness to it. So after a little bit of test driving, I've found that it's sort of like it's vacuum, I'm guessing it's vacuum based. So if you go through the rev slowly, it stays quiet the whole time if you're cruising. But when it's like creating vacuum through the exhaust, that's when it opens up the bimodal exhaust and it comes straight out the side and misses the rear muffler altogether. So I would admit that this is a guess to what I think is happening, but if we look at the factory muffler, basically when the exhaust gases go through, it gets to a certain vacuum level and then this flap opens. This is every Y62, I don't know if you can appreciate that, but when there's enough vacuum it opens up, and that's when I think it must tell that side or module that we want to go out and exit out the side instead of going through the rear muffler, I think. Some other changes are the tow bar. So this is a brand new tow bar from Nissan, allowing the 295 tyre to fit underneath. That's the first time they've done that. They should do it on every single car. And they've got recovery points built in. These are welded into the tow bar and chassis now. So that's good, although the hole is tiny. So you're not going to be able to fit a soft shackle through there. It's going to be a D shackle to a soft shackle, which I wish they made that hole bigger. Talking about suspension, so we've got a progressive rate coil now that rides beautifully and soft. It in fact mimics what a normal TI would ride like. However, you can see that there's a big spacing at the bottom of the coil and smaller spacing at the top of the coil. So that means when you put a Caravan or something like that, it's supposed to take that weight better. I must admit, I'm a bit dubious. We lined up some airbags into these coils, and the hole is too big, or the gap between the coils is too much for an airbag. I think it would protrude out and probably explode. So if you are going to tow, I would suggest changing the coils and airbags to something much thicker, like the dash lifted tow coils, and you'll see that they're much thicker coil and it will take that weight, probably better for towing. This car we finished off with a nice neat electrical system, so we know where all the fuses are and what they do. I reckon there's going to be a lot of questions about the Warrior the more we see of these on the road, especially in regards to GVM, GCM, towing and what's going to be needed. It looks like Nissan are pushing these hard because Premcar has bought all of the HBMC oil in Australia, so every other workshop at the moment is struggling to do lifts. Thanks Premcar. Otherwise, yeah, put your comments below and I'll answer them the best way I can. Thanks for watching. Yeah.